Welcome to our channel, Books and Flicks. Here we will be discussing different aspects of movies and books as we realized while watching or reading them. In this very first video, we will be presenting a stupid review of Silver Bullet. Stupid because we are sure that there's always more to what we have observed, and we expect you to fill those gaps. So, let's get into it. In 1985, a werewolf movie based on a Stephen King novelette was released in theaters. While at that time it didn't perform well in terms of box office or critical reception, the movie gathered avid followers over the years. This movie is called Silver Bullet, and it is more than just a werewolf horror flick. Directed by Daniel Attias, who made his directorial debut with this very film, Silver Bullet was adapted from the screenplay written by Stephen King, who also wrote the original novelette called Cycle of the Werewolf. The novelette is written in a calendar format where each month is a chapter itself. While this gimmick is extremely effective in creating a unique identity for the story, the movie follows a simple plot about a small town and how it became slowly terrorized by the residential monster, and how a little crippled boy stopped that monster in the end.
The killing had begun, but at first, no one knew it.
The Coslaw family. The film opens with an image of the full moon and the background narration of older Jane. It is evident within a few minutes that younger Jane and her brother Marty are at the center of the plot. Marty is a paraplegic boy whose only means of movement is his mechanized wheelchair. And Jane is the elder sister who must look after him most of the time. The movie shines the most in fleshing out these two characters. Marty is like any other kid of his age who likes to have fun, enjoys fireworks, a bit mischievous, and likes a girl next door. But being in a wheelchair makes things difficult for him. His sister Jane is like any other girl of her age, wearing pretty dresses while talking to boys. But she also is supposed to take care of Marty.
Supper was ready an hour ago, Dumbo.
Oh, jeez. I forgot. She mad?
Yeah, at me for not finding you sooner.
She obeys her parents in this regard,
And make sure your brother's all right.
but sometimes her suppressed emotions spill over.
I hate you!
There is a brilliant sequence where Marty tries to make it up to Jane, who is angry with him.
What's the money for? New pair of pantyhose. Is it enough?
It is obvious that she is not angry with her brother. Her frustration stems from the fact that she must take care of her brother all the time.
Jane, please take the money. It was Brady's idea, honest to God. I want to make up.
Which does not seem normal or fair to her. But throughout the movie, both come to appreciate the wonderful sibling bonding that they share. Then there are Marty's parents, who are not shown that much in the movie. They are just like any other parents who have, on top of the parenthood, an added task to raise a kid with disability.
And then you want to lecture me about how to raise my son.
Which leaves us with Marty's Uncle Red.
Red?
Hey! Hey, Red.
Uncle Red is such a character that could be easily considered as the best friend of Marty, but garybusey made the character such an endearing and relatable one too. He can be easily the uncle each of us have in our families, or the cool uncle we all wished we would have had.
Oh, I hope you're happy. You're looking at a dying man here.
According to the director, almost all of Uncle Red's dialogues by garybusey were improvised on set.
You better watch it. Because if your mother finds out just how fast it goes, I'm going to end up singing soprano in the Vienna Boys Choir.
I don't want you drinking around Marty.
Just like Marty and Jane, Uncle Red and Marty's mother, Nan, share a deep sibling bonding too. Nan cares about her brother even though she doesn't appreciate the way he's living his life. They have their differences, but they love each other.
I've had a wonderful time.
So have I.
And in the end, Uncle Red learned to be a responsible member in Nan's family. Silver Bullet. The movie is called Silver Bullet, and not named after the original novelette. This name has two layers of significance. The first one being the name of the wheelchair that Marty uses.
Hey, it's Madman Marty in the Silver Bullet!
The naming feels a bit on the nose, though. Technically, it's more of a bike than a wheelchair. This diesel engine not only gives him rush of speed, but also makes him forget his disability. Because call it an irony of fate if you want, he is a jolly, lively kid who doesn't like to idle around. So, when Uncle Red made a new improved version with custom job,
Wow.
Marty rides it like a speeding bullet. A silver-colored bullet that makes him feel like a superhero. The second significance of the name is the literal silver bullet that was made from the silver necklaces Marty and Jane offered to Uncle Red. According to the various lore in different culture, one of the ways to kill a werewolf is with the help of silver. Hence, Marty opted for a silver bullet so they could put an end to the beast. So Silver Bullet is meant to be the bane of existence for the werewolf in more than one way. A. Marty uses his silver bullet ride to evade the creature on more than one occasion. And B. The actual bullet is a means to an end for the terror Tarker's Mill is facing. People of Tarker's Mill. In any Stephen King story, the place and its people are the cogs and wheels that move the plot. Sometimes they take the center stage. It is true that the plot of Silver Bullet revolves around the adventure of Marty and Jane, but the people of Tarker's Mill play an important part in setting it up. As Jane says,
A town where people cared about each other as much as they cared about themselves.
they are the everyday regular folk, with their own virtues and vices, beauty and flaws. One by one, as the townsfolk fell victim to the beast, their reaction gradually changed from overlooking a freak accident to getting traumatized by the serial killing. Scared and confused, they tried to hunt the killer on their own. But they are not hunters. Hence, their naivety is relatable and somewhat comical, like a kid trying to be a hero. It would have been endearing, too, had it not led them to their eventual demise at the hands and the teeth of the werewolf. The werewolf. For most of the runtime, the werewolf is lurking in the shadows. This less is more approach works well to maintain the tension, but fails to clarify the killing cycle. Because in the novelette, the killing happened each month during full moon. When the werewolf tries to attack Marty, we get to see the face clearly for the first time. Through the efforts of Marty and Jane, it is then soon revealed that Reverend Lowe is the werewolf.
Having some trouble?
And he believed that he was fulfilling the duty as a shepherd.
Stella was going to commit suicide, and if she had done so, she would be burning in hell right now. By killing her, I took her physical life, but I saved her life eternal.
One can argue that the Reverend character is not that believable in his human form. He clearly lacks that warmth and faith when delivering a sermon in church. It's not a surprise that people didn't heed his words.
Oh, let it go, Reverend. This is that community spirit you've been talking about. Great, ain't it?
To be honest, he looks more like a wolf than a human. Maybe this character detail was intended, but was not translated well in the end. The movie is also not quite sure in explaining the origin and functioning of the werewolf.
But maybe he's like this almost all the time. Only as the moon gets fuller, the guy gets wolfier.
But when it comes to the actual werewolf effects, the movie sets itself apart. The dream sequence at the church is deliciously gory and fun to watch. All the makeup effects for transformation scenes are eerie and effective, especially during the final fight with the werewolf. All those hairs getting retracted, body parts getting shrunk back to normal human form, never fails to give goosebumps to the viewer. It is worth noting that the main creator for these creature effects, Carlo Rambaldi, was already known for his works in movies like E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Alien, and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. General reception. When the movie was released in October of 1985, the critical reception to it was not kind at all. A quote from Chicago Tribune Review goes like this:
If this hairy, hoary tale had been the work of any other writer, it's unlikely it would have found its way to the nation's movie screens.
Another review goes like this:
This dreadful, borderline campy movie, about a werewolf on the prowl in a sedate town, is long on gore and short on logic.
And the rest of it is not nice either. Roger Ebert was the only notable reviewer who decided to tone it down a little, but said that,
I think the movie is intentionally funny.
Box office figures weren't hopeful either. But over the years, horror and King fans have come to appreciate this underrated movie. Granted that it can't decide whether to be slasher or comedy or family drama, it's clunky in the storytelling department, Visually, the movie isn't that appealing too. But the acting is solid across the board. Coreyhaim and Megan Follows are adorable as Marty and Jane, and garybusey brings an infectious energy whenever he is on screen. Jay Chataway did a beautiful job as the music producer in terms of setting the ambiance. In the end, Silver Bullet is a movie about learning to love your family. Well, that was the stupid review. Comment below if we have missed anything about this movie that is surely worth mentioning. Like this video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this in future. Thank you for watching.